been waiting for it. Now it's time for predictions when the panel gazes into the crystal ball, throws out their political tarot cards, and reads the tea leaves, telling us what we can expect from the candidates tomorrow. First up, Joe Scarborough, what do you have?
I'm going to be a contrarian tonight. I think Barack Obama's poll numbers are actually going to slip in Pennsylvania in the coming weeks. I think they may slip nationwide. I think Hillary Clinton wins every time Barack Obama talks about race. It doesn't matter that the speech was historic and that it was the most important race speech in the past 40 to 45 years. It still will not help his campaign in the short run.
Even if it reinforces what a lot of not just African Americans but white voters like most about the guy.
Well, he's already got the progressive white voters. He already has the African American voters. He needs to grab some Reagan Democrats, bring them on his side. I don't think listing 350 years of black resentments, even though they were accurately listed, I don't think they will do it. And also, I see Rachel shaking her head. I don't think Rachel has the slightest idea about what moves a blue-collar voter in Youngstown, Ohio.
He doesn't need Reagan Democrats in order to get the Democratic nomination. That's the contest at hand. He's got to persuade Democratic Party elites.
That's fine.
This was custom built for that.
And that's why Republicans are cheering today. So you want to win the Democratic nomination but lose the general election in the fall? That's what I'm talking about.
He's fighting to get to the general, and I think he moved himself closer to that today.
We'll see in Pennsylvania polls soon.
On to Eugene. What do you see, Gene?
My prediction is ka-ching. I think the cash registers will ring for the Obama campaign tonight. A lot of supporters were worried that the campaign had lost its stride. They were worried about this Reverend Wright controversy and how he would pull off this speech. I think he did pull it off, and I think the campaign will be rewarded with a new kind of surge of donations tonight.
And we, by the way, did promise that we'd keep tabs on all your predictions to see who has the best track record. Well, Eugene, yesterday you predicted Obama's speech would make race a bigger issue in this campaign. Quickly to our panel, is race more or less of an issue after this speech? Chuck?
More, obviously, and it will be all the way to November.
What do you say, Rachel?
Today more, tomorrow less. I think he's put it to bed to a certain extent.
Joe?
More, at least through Pennsylvania, the end of the Democratic process. I don't know what happens in the fall, but I suspect this is one of those issues that nobody's going to have to talk about. It's there now. It's going to be with voters in those Reagan Democratic areas between now and November.
All right, Rachel, what's your call tonight?
John McCain, on the heels of his Middle East trip, is going to decide that he's built up enough political capital with the Republican Party. He can go back to his maverick ways and put his thumb in their eye a little bit, do something that'll be good for him in the general election, and show he supports the troops by signing on to the new GI Bill, which incredibly neither McCain nor Lieberman nor Lindsey Graham, who he's traveling with in Iraq right now, have signed on to. I think we'll hear something from him about the GI Bill.
All right, Chuck, prognosticate for us, please.
John Edwards will not endorse anybody until after the University of North Carolina is done with its basketball season. And him being a Tar Heel fan, that means probably not until at least April 6th. But in all seriousness, why would, as I was reminded today, John Edwards, why do you get his endorsement when there's no votes to be had? You want his endorsement inside of a week of when there are actual people going to the polls.
Or, Joe, do you want John Edwards as part of a group that helps to arbitrate the fights in the Democratic Party?
If I know I have John Edwards in my pocket, I tell him to keep his powder dry as long as possible, because at some point there may come to a place where there's a tipping point where if you get Al Gore, John Edwards, Howard Dean together, maybe they talk to the superdelegates and say it's time to swing this Obama's way or Clinton's way. I see no gain in John Edwards endorsing anybody right now because we don't know how it turns out.
I don't think there's a natural pivot point coming. I think that they're going to have to create that timely crisis to end this campaign, to get them to start working toward the general. I don't think there's any point in time that automatically.
I think they just keep it going.
The crisis comes for Hillary Clinton when it's proven she can't win the popular vote if that time comes.
Let me end on this, Chuck Todd. We were talking about this today. Michigan and Florida, which way are these going to go after we reported here last night there's not going to be a revote? So what happens to these delegates?
Well, I don't want to completely predict this, but I think that, Michigan's not going to have a revote. I think the Obama people are going to play a game of chicken on this and figure they're going to make Michigan Democrats mad. I think you're going to see a hopefulness by the Obama people that they put this away by May 6th, which is the day of the North Carolina-Indiana primaries, and then go ahead and seat Michigan and Florida fully as the nominee and with nothing to fear. That's the Obama hope.
You got to wait it out a little bit, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I think they're going to wait it out, but at the same time, again, Barack Obama, as long as he plays it down the center of the road on these delegate issues, he wins the delegate count. Again, for the Obama campaign, they know if they win the popular vote, they've got everything. They've got the most states, they've got the most popular votes, they've got everything. So if they don't rerun Michigan and they don't rerun Florida, they can say those votes are illegitimate, they're outside DNC rules. Right. Howard Dean and the DNC will agree with them, and Hillary Clinton loses all of those popular vote advantages that she got in those states.
But if we wait till every popular vote opportunity has passed, till every delegate opportunity has passed, it's a Pyrrhic victory because it's then too late to do anything against John McCain.
Rachel, that's where we're going. We are going to the end. I fear, and we're just going to. The party's just going to have to put itself back together
all the way to Denver. Hillary Clinton's not going to step down, nor is Barack Obama.
Well, but the question, Gene Robinson. But the question is, does Howard Dean want to just let this roll out? He doesn't want to intervene and enforce his own rules unless he absolutely has to.
He has to.
No, he doesn't. And what power does Howard Dean really have? I mean, he's the head of the party. But as we have discussed, there is no Democrat who can really bring this thing to an end. There is no one Democrat who can solve Michigan and Florida. This is going to have to play out for a while. And you know, we're going to have a campaign for some weeks and maybe months.
I still disagree. I think one person, Al Gore, can still end this thing. He can still... This is Florida. He can figure out a solution. I think he's the only one that both sides would listen to.
Did you hear that? That had the little sound of a prediction. We're going to leave it there. Thanks to a great panel.